I'm a millennial, man. I used to pregame before going to school. I remember getting high in the fourth fucking grade. I remember getting sent home because they thought I was sick. Nope, I smoked on my way to the bus stop, bro. But that behavior led me to become an alcoholic. You wouldn't think that that's like the trail of breadcrumbs that get left behind by sneaking a fucking hit before jumping on the bus when you're like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. But the interesting part about all of that is we all learned that before we consume a substance, before we go to a party, before we go to the event, before we go to the festival, before we hit the rave, before we hit the bar, before we hit the club, before we go to their house, we need to get a little bit tipsy first, baby. We need a pregame, right? And really all that is I'm not comfortable enough in my own fucking skin to enjoy my time before dysregulating myself, before consuming the toxin. We really ideally want to think about alcohol, substances in general, as a fucking event. It is something that is catastrophic happening to your body. Alcohol is a drug. It is a neurotoxin. It is infecting every single cell in your body. It is an intellectual relationship with your own fucking veins, bro. You are literally altering your state of being and shifting your personality into another dimension. And we sit here and go like, oh yeah, I had like 5 of these before I had 5 of these. I used to have 5 or 6 shots just so I could have 5 or 6 more shots. And I don't mean like, oh, I had fucking 5 drinks so I was feeling good. No, I had to have 5 drinks before I felt normal, before the shakes went away, before the sweats went away, before my diet came back, before I was even interested, before I wanted to talk to you, before I even considered going to the event, before I even got my bills paid, before I looked at my fucking calendar. Fuck social media, fuck you, your friends, and your whole fucking family. I don't remember last night, but I need at least 5 shots for me to be a regular person. When we practice enough alcoholic behavior, you know what we get? Alcoholism. We develop fucking alcoholism, not practices that make it look like we're an alcoholic. We literally become an alcoholic to the point where our brain and body becomes dependent on it. And us millennials, dude, we all know what it's like to pre-party, dude. Yet, coincidentally, that is the exact same practice that people who have an actual dependency use to get through the day, man. So I say this to go, if you're still pre-partying, man, if 1 drink isn't enough, man, if you gotta have 10, if you're drinking to blackout, drinking to get drunk, you've probably been doing that for a long time. And now is the most perfect time to practice drinking just a little bit less. So if you or someone you know is struggling, bro, you know where I'm at.